Uh,
Okay, cool.
Anybody comes, tell them. If anybody try to come in and get enough.
Yeah, man. So what's up? This is Andrew Barber. I'm here with the legendary Cortez Bryant, aka Tez, industry tycoon, heavyweight manager, managed a lot of the biggest artists in the game, worked with a lot of artists in the game, signed some of the biggest artists in the world, and somebody that I've always, admired from afar, even though we've never met in real life. So thank you for coming on and chit chat with me today.
I appreciate you for having me, man, with all those kind words. I don't know about legendary.
I mean, come on, man. You've had an incredible run. You've broken some of the biggest artists around. So, I think you have a lot of history. You have a wealth of knowledge and information. And I know you're a big guy on education.
Absolutely.
And why I wanted to talk to you today is we could talk for hours, but on my Twitter, I have a pretty good presence, right? And one thing that is always coming up and always discussed is the Carters. Which Carter is the best. There's plenty of them to go from. The debates are always crazy. People always debate which ones, usually a lot of times it comes down to 2 or 3. And now I see more people saying 1 than ever before. And maybe I'll ask you which one's your favorite later, but one thing in particular I wanted to talk about is the Carter 3 sessions.
Okay.
Now, whenever somebody asks me, like, what do you think about the Carter 3? And I'm like, well, I love the Carter 3, but my favorite was like the Carter 3 sessions, right? So those were the songs that leaked that didn't make the actual retail release.
Yeah, I didn't even know that's what they goddamn called them. I just that was new to me. That's what it was called. But yeah, go ahead. And definitely, okay. Yeah, those are great songs. Yes, absolutely.
So every time that comes up, somebody, either if it's me or whoever, will be like, Carter 3 sessions. What's up with the Carter 3 sessions? And a lot of the younger people don't know about it. Like a lot of the younger kids weren't around for that. So, before we get right into that, I want to talk about that time and like what your life was like and because you were a new manager at that time, right?
Yes, absolutely. I was only like 3 years into the game, maybe 2. What year did Carter 3 came out? 09? Wait, no. 07? 08. Came out 08. So, so I was 4 years in. I started managing Wayne. Wayne and I have been friends since high school, 15 to 12 years old. But I started managing him when I got out of college at Jackson State in 04. So, January 04. So,
he just hit you and be like, look, I need you to manage me now? Like,
yeah. He had never had a manager. Cash Money was kind of handling everything. At that point, he was like, man, my business is funny. At that point, I feel like I need somebody I trust that's in my corner to manage me. At that time, I was the only one out the crew that went to college and kind of went to school. So everybody looked at me as Tez got the brains and Tez could figure everything out. Even though all of us were smart, I just took that route. Well, Mac went to college. But Mac wasn't officially around the Young Money circle at that point.
Did you have like a music business degree or anything like that?
Nah, hell no. I ain't know nothing about music. I have a mass communications degree. I knew shit, so I probably knew how to, edit. When it comes to shooting videos, I was very helpful in that space because of my mass comm degree. And I think the advertising strategy and marketing that I learned in mass comm kind of helped. Kind of helped with me getting thrown into the music business. But I didn't really know nothing, bro. What I really understood as soon as I got in, I told Wayne that outside of, music could go away like the hottest people went cold, and music could go away really fast, or you might decide to stop doing music. So I was like, we got to build your brand up outside of music, and I was like, that's what we got to do in tangent to what he was doing music. So at that time, I kind of got jumped in with the first quarter. So that was the first thing, because that came out, I think, 04, right? So it's Carter. So that's my first time like even in around the music business. But that album was mostly done by Cash Money because Manny produced most of those tracks,
Right.
you know, and I think the input I had at that time was singles that we were gonna go with Go DJ.
Because I think you had "Bring It Back" was the first single.
Bring It Back, and then Go DJ. Yeah, off of that record. Man, I love Carter One, bro. But that's kind of when I jumped in Carter One and strategy and so, but only minimal because I was brand new. I didn't know shit. I was really learning a lot from Baby and Slim and just sitting back and being like a fly on the wall. So fast forward, you know, Carter Two, put that together. You know, this is first time probably in his whole career he started exploring different producers outside of Manny Fresh. So people resonate with Carter Two a lot, and when you hear those debates, because it was a whole new sound. You know what I'm saying? It was a sound that people didn't hear Wayne ever on. You know what I'm saying? You had East Coast type beats. You know, we had different producers. You know, I was finding different producers. Shit.
Was that were those your ideas, like to bring in a new producers, or was kind of when Manny was like leaving? Is that why?
Yeah, I think everything was breaking up. Manny was leaving, so Manny was leaving at the time. It was a moment when, you know, things that got rough, a rough patch. I know y'all heard the rumors about Wayne going to Def Jam, signing Jay-Z. Like it was a rough patch during that Carter One, Carter Two time. So yeah, so we was trying to get, you know, we was in the process during those things to get it on our own, you know, and figure out, you know what I'm saying, trying to kind of figure it out. I was trying to get beats from all kind of places. I remember this producer, you know, Yanni, he's done a lot of the great things since then, but, you know, he used to send me beats on my sidekick, and I think he did, which record he did off that shit? He gonna be so mad. That's damn so long ago, bro. He from Cleveland, though, you know what I'm saying? So we was picking all kind of stuff, and he sent me a beat on my sidekick. I was like, yo, Wayne, this is crazy. So, and that's kind of how we put that project together in the midst of that time before it was released. You know, his business had got straight at that point with Cash Money, so we released it. But it was definitely a release that was based off for the first time going outside of Manny and kind of putting the project together for ourselves without heavy input from Cash Money. You know, that was the start of that. So post that, you know, we had growth. So, you know, I was trying to, at this time, I knew that I was reaching a ceiling for as my management expertise of what I knew, and I knew I had to strategically find someone else that could come and help me, you know, because you know, I wasn't the person that was ignorant enough to know, and to know that, you know, I don't know everything, you know what I'm saying, and
you're learning everything,
right, and I was learning still at the same time on the fly, right, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, I did everything in my power to help Wayne. So I wasn't egotistical. I told Wayne, you know, yo, let me go try to help find somebody.
You were doing day to day, and then you were doing everything day to day.
I was on everything: DJ, security, assistant, day to day. Look, I did everything. It was those first couple of years. I did everything. I was a DJ until Carter 3. Yes, I was putting the shows together, booking, everything. So,
and I don't think people know how hard it is to be like the manager. The most pressure is on the manager. Like the artist has a different type of pressure, but the manager they got to make sure they get the artist there. They're on time. They're prompt. Everything's getting done. And it's not like it is now. There was an internet, but not like it is now. So things still have to be done in an old way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, at that time I was seeking out partners to help me grow and help Wayne grow at the same time. And, you know, I told Wayne, I need to onboard somebody for the team, give him the blessing, like, hell yeah, go ahead. So, you know, that's when, you know, I kind of found my partner, G. Roberson, to this day, G. Roberson. And he had Kanye at the time, managing Kanye at the time. You know, he had started at Rockefeller, and that's a whole nother story that he probably could get on here and tell you about their days. The early Kanye days, him and hip-hop really by them working at Rockefeller and identifying Kanye and believed him as an artist, and then started hip hop since 1978. And like G could come and tell her that story, right? And built that up. But G, you know, I met him for the first time, and we were the same type of person as far as values, you know, the kind of people we are, good-hearted people about doing good business, you know, and you know, and everything that I was thinking about when it comes to hit records and my A&R ear, he kind of made it all make sense for me, you know, and he immediately introduced me to, you know, I was talking to executives on this level, you know, he was bringing me to the chairmen and CEOs. He was like, they got to know you know what I'm saying? Wayne is blazing, you know, Wayne is blazing up and come, you need to know these people, right? So we found that bond, that was like 3 years in, you know what I'm saying? And we've been partners since. We've been rocking ever since. Everything that we've done, we built together with Blueprint Group, which our company name is now, you know what I'm saying? When we merged our companies, that's the name we created. So we had Kanye and Wayne at the time. So
the biggest thing. That's crazy.
So from that point on, now quarter to that point, I bring, you know, so it just became, Wayne was bubbly, he was getting hot. So that's when Feature Weezy was born, you know, so he was jumping on everything. I never forget, we had a big meeting at the goddamn label where, you know, they argued me down about, you know, you can't have him on all these songs. He's oversaturating himself. You know what I'm saying? I tried to bring that shit to Wayne. Wayne was like, man, fuck them. He was like, trust me, because I kind of bought into that, you know, because me not understanding, I didn't get it at that point. So I bought into that narrative and tried to, you know, agree with them and bring that to Wayne. He was like, nah, you know, he was pissed off. We got a big argument about that. He was like, just trust me. This is going to work. Like, let's just give out free shit. That's when mixtape and features. So our plan was just to give out a lot of free music. You know what I'm saying? Just give out a lot of free music and
embrace that model, as opposed to a lot of people who were fighting that model.
Yeah, they were following that model.
They're holding on to the old industry, and you guys are ushering in this new world.
Yeah, and the industry was basically about mystique and mysteriousness and don't give too much of yourself so that you could come and sell. And Wayne was like, nah, we're going to do the total fucking opposite. We're going to give our fans a lot. So when we do put out an album, they're going to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to appreciate it and they're going to reciprocate it back. So, and that's exactly what happened, you know? And I didn't get it because it hit me like later. And I called him up, I'll never forget. Like, I was like, after all these features is out, you know what I'm saying? We got a ton of shit on the radio. And I'm like, damn, this motherfucker, you know, I'm still a fan to this day, right? To this day, since he rapped his first rap, he ever rap to me about fast food restaurants when he was like damn 10 or 11. One of his first raps he ever wrote. I've been still a fan about how the hell he put together all these metaphors and similes, bro. So I'm listening to all of damn features. I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker flow is different on every song. You can't get tired of nothing if you come in different. And I'm like, oh, I call this motherfucker like, yo, I got it. I'm like, yo. He's like, no duh, motherfucker. Like, that's the fuck I'm trying to tell you. Right. Don't worry. Follow the lead. Follow me. And I was like, bet. You know, I never
he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. Like, he knew coming, you know, he knew he had to come different in all these records and give them different ways so people could be, you know, really be like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So he knew the method without spelling it out to me. And I ended up catching it. And since then, you know, that's been the formula. So the mixtapes has always been near and dear. Before we drop albums, it's all about fans, giving the fans something. You know what I'm saying? Giving the fans something, and we'll be and they may reward us back by when we ask them to spend money on a product. Then they may be willing to spend their money, which he don't care anyway. You know, Wayne is just about being heard, right? But the process worked. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, when Carter 3 dropped. You know, and Carter 3 dropped in Million Records first week when the music business was in a damn slump. You know, it was all based off of that philosophy of those years before.
Mm-hmm. And what mixtape would you say was the one that really shifted it? Like, could you feel, or was it a project in particular that you felt a shift? I can tell you what I felt, because I'd been a fan of Wayne since, well, the first time I heard him was on Millionaire Dream on Big Time.
Ooh, one of my favorite songs. Yeah,
right, me too. That was the first time because we're the same age, and I'm like, yo, this dude is my age, and he stole the show on this song. And then 400 Degrees came out, and then I really went back and listened to all the Hot Boys, like, you know, Get It How You Live and all that.
Yeah.
And so I watched his career blossom. You know what I mean? I saw him reinvent himself. Like he like rose like a phoenix from the ashes of his old self. Like I feel like I saw the real shift when he did the Soldier remix for Destiny's Child.
That was commercially. That definitely was the commercial shift. That put us on the map. Like that started, absolutely commercially, that was a definite big old shift, you know, during those years. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
But on the tape, on the mixtape side, which one do you think did it?
I think it was that the dedication series, bro. 1 was great. 2, I think, what was 2 with Such Gang and shit.
And 2 had like Walk It Off on there, which is my personal favorite.
Yeah, I think 2. I think it was a dedication series, so I think 2 really just blew him out, or we were just red hot, and 2 just was like, gosh, you know what I'm saying? But definitely it was the dedication series.
D2 was right before like Father Like Son.
Yeah, D2, yeah. So it was definitely like on the mixtapes, out of mix when people, you know, was really talking about mixtape weeks, I think 2 sparked it all, you know.
And then like Father Like Son comes, and that was, you know, that
was. Wait. There's another mixtape before that. What was that mixtape?
There's Dedication 1. There's The Drought, which was May 07. I have my notes here.
What was the one? What was the first? Was the first one Dedication? Because I remember pressing up CDs. The one where we had
the Squad Up. He had the Squad Up tapes too.
Not the Squad Up series. That was locally, yes. Locally, New Orleans. That he became God in New Orleans of Squad Up series, right? That was the New Orleans taking over the city, right? What was the one? It was the one with Sky's the Limit was on because I remember
that was the Drought. That was the Drought.
That was the Drought.
I think that was on the Drought. It's so many
songs. Yeah, it was the Drought. It was the Drought.
I think Sky's the Limit's on the Drought.
That come after. I gotta get these dates right. They come before Dedication, after Dedication.
That's why I wrote them down. It's hard to remember everything. It came after D2.
It came after D2. Okay, so it was D2 first, and then the Drought pivoted because Sky's the Limit. You remember that Mike Jones? People don't even know that's goddamn Mike Jones song, right? That song started being played. That's when I knew, like, airplay. So we were going to cities and hearing that shit on the radio, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
I think that's his biggest mixtape song.
Yes.
Like when I don't know if you were at the show that Chance the Rapper did in Chicago. He did at
the baseball stadium.
Yeah,
at the baseball. Yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah, absolutely.
He did at the baseball stadium when he did Sky's the Limit, and the whole place. That was my favorite moment of that show. That was crazy.
Crazy, dog. So yeah, that's when I knew. So yeah, D2 really the birth, I think, mixtape where everybody just like, oh shit, this shit's just crazy. This shit like better than an album. But then Sky's the Limit was the first record that, you know, off of a mixtape, I started being played on the goddamn radio. So it was like that, you know. And I remember because he was we had CDs at this time, right? But we had uploaded them. I remember I pressed a lot of CDs, but I had uploaded it to some type of site, some type of link I put out. And he wanted to change a line, you know, and we just had a big argument about this and understanding the internet days, right? You know, that what was the damn? He spelled something wrong in that shit. The F is for, what did he say? My mind is blank, bro.
When he said F is for phenomenal, not that one.
Yeah, it said something. It's supposed because the words start with PH, but he said F, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I gotta change that. But we released it, like it's on the internet.
And
I'm like, bro, he like, what the fuck? Like, we had an argument about that. He not understanding the concept about digital, and it's gone now, right? I was like, bro, it's gone. And we had pressed tons of CDs, but he didn't realize he spelled it wrong, and I didn't catch it, you know, until. And Wayne's a perfectionist about that, words and using his words and prepositions and really, you know, using in correct ways. And he, you know, he might misspell something on purpose for lyrical, for lyrical exercise and wordplay, but he was really precise about his wordplay. So he was really like down, pissed. I don't want to fuck the whole mixtape just because that one damn line that became the
one
biggest
of his
goddamn
famous
song.
lines. That's one of his famous lines. And so as a man, like I have a little bit of management background, obviously nothing like you, but I can only imagine what the pressure's like for you at that time. So like you gotta be like you have the hottest rapper in the game, and you have to make sure that everything's getting done. So how hard is that to balance everything at that moment?
At that moment, you know what? It wasn't. At that moment, we had built a team, right?
Okay,
so it wasn't only me. So you know what I'm saying? G. Roberson and Al Branch and Sean G.
Was hip hop involved then?
Hip hop was still involved in. Hop was still involved. Al, Gene Nelson, Brian Calhoun with the digital. So, because we built what we did on the management side, once G and I came together, we understood that we didn't want to, especially at that time when the music business was in a recession and they were firing a lot of people, and wasn't about development and things like that because they wasn't making any money. We want to make sure that we brought in-house great people in great different spaces that'll benefit us. So we brought in Brian Calhoun to do our digital strategy. You know what I'm saying? Sean G, who was also a partner, was a touring guru who started the touring, who explained to us about hard ticket sales and the touring strategy for every artist that we had, from Kanye to then Wayne, Drake, Nicki, G-Eazy. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of been plug and play, right? To build them up to arena, amphitheater level artists.
Right, because Wayne's probably only doing like clubs at that point, right?
At that point, yeah. He didn't do his first arena tour till Carter 3, after Carter 3 dropped. So, but we were building it up.
Is he doing like 3,000 cap rooms, 1,000?
No, we had like a House of Blues run, because what it was Sean had to teach me, right? He was just like, listen, he was like, I know y'all getting 50, 75,000 dollar bag on a Chitlin circuit, you know what I'm saying, the club circuit, which we were. He was like, you're not gonna build your touring profile just chasing after the bag, you know what I'm saying? We gotta build this with hard tickets. Wayne's demographic of fans are becoming larger, so we gotta go to places where, everybody's feel comfortable to get into a venue, and we gotta build hard tickets in order to get them to grow. He was like, but that's going to take a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like that might take freaking, that $75,000 bag is not going to be there when all you can pull out is $20,000, $30,000 in a 1,200 seat House of Blues type venue, right? So the first thing we did actually was on a Chris Brown tour, up close personal tour. And he was before, it was like Chris, Neo, Franchise Boys. Wayne might have been before the Franchise Boys because it was hot. We'll lean with it, rock with it, and then I think Joel's and them open. You know what I'm saying? So that was the tour. Joel's and them was starting. Wayne was just starting with hard tickets, so we was making like $10,000 a night, 15 minutes.
So that's tough as a manager for you to sell that through to him. To be
It was. You know what? One thing about Wayne, he trusted me, especially at that point. Like, he believed in me before I even knew I could do this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? By him calling me, he saw that I could do it before I even knew, So if I told him something and I told him like, I feel like this is about to help you in your career and benefit it, he didn't really give me a pushback on anything dealing with that. The only fights we've had ever was over music, you know what I'm saying? That's his creative space, like the features argument, right? So other than that, he gave me leeway to do kind of whatever and just follow suit. He trusted me that much to so it wasn't a lot of pulling teeth with him to do things. There's some things that he didn't want to do that he was hard to show up for. Like, why am I doing this? And forgot he said he agreed to it. So we had a lot of that over the years. You know what I'm saying? Then some shit might come out like, oh shit, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? After the fact. So yeah, we butt heads, but the initial conversations were always easy. So yeah, so we did that, and we might have did a small run, and that was pre-Carter 3, but all during these times when the mixtapes is out and the features is out. So we did that. We might have did a House of Blues type run. And Carter 3 was so successful, was so hot, he jumped straight into the arenas, you know. But he had built a fan base for so many years, and he was so hot. And I think the Chris tour helped a lot because, you know, that tour was sold out every night. Great lineup, and I think it brought him different types of fans also, you know what I'm saying, with that R&B heavy, that mixed balance of a lineup. I think it really helped catapult his touring strategy a lot. So we brought all those people in house, bro. And so when you was asking, was it hard? It wasn't really that hard because we had a fucking A-team that we still have right now. We've been together all these years and you know, and have done a lot of great things together. You know what I'm saying? I always tell her I might be the most popular face in front of it because I'm the one who's on social media, you know, but it's definitely a team effort behind everything that we do over here for all our clients.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that was, you know, just trying to look back at that time, I'm thinking about how the music was getting to people, and like literally to me it appeared like there was a new song leaking every day, like and those like the mixtapes, he was rapping over other people's. He had kind of taken the formula that was popular that like 50 Cent and Dipset made, where they were rapping on other people's beat, and he took it to a whole other level. Right. But then like original songs started to leak.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm sure that you know, you got like, you know, I Feel Like Dying, La La La, Prostitute Phalange, Did It Before. All these records start leaking.
Yeah.
To me,
I couldn't figure out how. I still don't know to this day how. Right? I still don't know to this day how. Because you know, mind you, you know, the digital era is still new at this time. Right. And the labels wasn't set up to know how to identify a record and pull it down like they could do today, you know, based off of algorithm, based off of titles, all the ways they could do to try to prevent leaks now. That didn't exist back then, you know. I didn't know, and I knew at that time, you know, a lot of leaks back then happened in the distribution process. So the pressing up, and for either in the plant or when, you know, an album got to the Best Buy, Targets, or whatever it went, right? They some, you know, based off of the country is different, you know, different places. Some stores that get albums earlier, you know what I'm saying? All it takes is one employee, take the CD and upload it, right? So those were the traditional normal ways that we figured out things were leaking back then. Either it came from the printing press where they were pressing up CDs, or it came when they distributed and got to the stores themselves, right? So that's what the labels were trying to lock down and control that and micromanage that. And we would wait to the last minute. And for us, we knew it wasn't that because we'd wait to the very last. We'd pay extra expedited fee in order not to. I think the plants would need a CD like 6 weeks out, the album like 6 weeks out to print up and give it everywhere. We'll pay the extra late fee costs and send that motherfucking 3 weeks before the release, just trying to prevent albums. That was on all our clients, right? So
you would probably send somebody with the briefcase handcuffed to their arm.
That's basically how it was. But you know, we couldn't figure. But it hadn't got to that point yet. You know, we were still you know, those were definitely the album, but we hadn't got to a point where it was like none of those songs was mixed yet, you know, so we hadn't got to mixing, mastering, pressing yet. So, man, I was like, look, dog, it was like a slow bleeding cut, you know, and I didn't know what to tell him. He felt defeated, you know what I'm saying? So, because we worked on that shit for years, you know what I'm saying? We was working on that music for years. So, you know, it was a moment after it leaked to where as though, you know, we had to figure out a strategy. I was like, you know what I'm saying, let's not scrap it all. We came out with the leak, those couple songs.
But you had that leak EP in like late 2007, I think and it was like 5 songs on
there. Yeah. So we came out with that to buy him time in order to record a whole new album.
Wow. So he recorded like Carter 3 like in a 6-month period or something
in
like
a 6-month period. All those other songs came in 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, all those other songs came in 6 months. So the leak was to buy time to record another album for the Carter 3. You know, so I was like, let's just put this out. This gonna get you, because he was definitely defeated, bro.
Really?
You know, yeah, man. Because he put so much like this. We all felt like we knew in our heart and spirits this is about to be that project. You know, we was like, this is about to be the one. How the music was coming together, how the songs was coming together, how we was putting things together. We was like, this is about to be the one. We knew this was about to be his, you know, his legendary album. That's how we were feeling making it. You know, those songs that, huh?
This is his Reasonable Doubt. This is
So when it left up, when it got leaked, everybody felt, you know what I'm saying? But me as a manager, you know, as a manager and as our team, we had to pick up our bootstraps and figure out, you know, we had to problem solve. Like, what are we gonna do? Let's put out this leak, give us more time, re-record. You know, he picked himself back up and like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They got some good shit, you know.
I mean, some of the best records he's ever made. And it, to me, now we can look back and be like, okay, so it was a good thing because his legend grew so much more because of that. Yeah. Like those records made him, even though they were just, you could only get them on LimeWire or Kazaa or underground CDs, like that made his legend grow even more. Like those became anthems in their own right.
It added to the fuel of the fire of the anticipation for the what was the Carter 3 at that time. It definitely, the negative definitely turned into a positive for us, hands down. Hands down, you know what I'm saying? With that being out, like people were like, oh shit, they thinking that, you know, he was already giving me free shit for mixtapes. So they were like, damn, you know, we getting this shit for free. It definitely added to the momentum leading up into Carter 3. And I think that it was a big part of the success. You know, even though I won't tell a dude, once I figured out who did it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand motherfucker like the Empire dudes. I figured out who ended up doing it, and not knowing I had ran across him. So I was like, man, maybe I met this dude because I had met him before in Hartford, because that's who was from Connecticut. I'm like, did he rip my computer or something? Like, was he able to get files from me or some shit? Like, I still to this day don't know how he got all the music. You know, we had a couple incidents in public where, you know, I might have went off a couple times and said some foul words, you know, and still didn't goddamn, you know, and a couple times in public, you know, even years later, man, I still like, bro, you know, because it was that bad. It was that devastating, bro. Like,
you still see this. You've seen him around. You've seen the people around.
I seen him a couple times after I found out who did it, and it took me a minute to find out. I didn't know. I mean, what's the mixtape? They put the Empire tape in Empire. They came out with the shit. I knew who was. I was trying to dig and find out who was the culprit, who ran the company. You know what I'm saying? So I found out, but I didn't see him face to face till like down the line. When I saw him face to face, I was like, "Oh shit, I fucking remember you," and I remember exactly where I met him at. This is pre-Carter 3, pre all this stuff. And now I was trying to think of, did he do something in that meeting? You know, was able to rip something off my files or something that was able to get it. To the desk, I still don't know, but you know, I was really bitter and salty about that for years, bro. Even years, all the success afterwards. I think last time I ran to him was in Atlanta, and I might have said something to him then, like, you know, like,
you still feel.
I still feel away, dog. I still feel away. I'm good now, and I'm usually not the person to carry that type of stuff off my spirit, but it was that bad, though. It was that bad, man.
Oh,
it was
bro.
that bad.
Like, that was like Christmas for the fans, though.
Yeah.
Because that Carter 3 sessions, the drought, whatever it was before, whatever, the drought is over. Carter 3 mixtape just appears online. I wish there was like analytics on that. How many people got that?
Yeah.
It was
bro.
People with that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dog.
So those are like some of the, like, his biggest records that like made him this larger than life figure.
Yeah.
Would you ever put those out? I know you're re-releasing stuff now.
Yeah.
You know, No Ceilings just came out. Would you ever put those out now?
I would. It's a couple that we can't. I know Feel Like Dying it was a couple that legally wasn't able to put out, because I thought Feel Like Dying was so good. We wanted to use that no matter what.
You should have used it anyway.
But we was going to use that anyway, but we couldn't get the sample cleared. We couldn't get the sample cleared at the time. That was in it.
You remember what the sample? What?
I can't remember who the sample. Jim Johnson did the beat out of Florida. I can't remember what the sample was or who did a sample, who he sampled, but I know we couldn't get it clear because I was going to use that no matter what. And it got down to a point where as though that was a big hit performing. We still was performing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Like that was a big, but they made us, they sent the injunctions that he can't ever perform that song ever again. Like that's why we took it out the show and had to keep it out the show because we had an injunction that he could not perform it. So
wow.
So, yeah, and that's one of my favorite songs he ever did in his life. That's one of my favorite Lil Wayne songs ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when his cult following really. I feel like that's when because that song was speaking to people on a whole other level, and it was different than anything that he had done at the time.
Yeah, I think it was the birth of all the music that the Juice WRLDs and all of them are doing today. You know what I'm saying? That kind of dark, that dark soulful hip hop. To this generation, I think that song was kind of one of the ones that stuck out to them, like the Juice WRLDs and
100%
Triple X and all the people that's making that type of music.
That birthed a whole generation.
Right, a whole generation.
So we'll never get that song officially.
Never get that song officially released. Bro, we never say never, man. Maybe they've changed their mind, and with streaming and understanding what publishing is now because of streaming, maybe they need the money and will be able to clear it right now, knowing that they never say never. Like reapproaching. I don't know what situation they're in now. Whoever that owned it, they might have had a lot of money then. Maybe they need more money now. Right. Look at it as a business opportunity, but
as they should, because that song will recoup in a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever that costs to get cleared, it will recoup quickly because
absolutely.
It's just one of those timeless. And I've wondered why he doesn't perform that. I didn't know if he disliked those songs.
One of our favorite songs to perform, bro. We just couldn't do it no more. They did. He sent the injunction. And I had to tell him, we got to take it out the show. We can't perform it ever again.
Damn.
Crazy, right?
So there may be a time when we see some of these records.
Now with streaming, bro, I think that we want to put out everything, man. All the mixtapes, want everybody here who haven't discovered, or at least that's where everybody listens to music, so they're not forced to go into their iTunes catalogs from back in the day from what they downloaded and make sure that it's at their fingertips on the streaming platforms. So I think the goal is to try to clear as much as you can. It's hard because with the mixtapes, he rapped on other people's beats. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's all the writers and the producers and the labels and publishers. So it's a bunch of people you got to go through, clear shit that may want too much money. So it's a bunch of, you got to deal with the legalities behind, once you're rapping on somebody else's song to get over the hurdle of getting it clear.
Right. It's not just as easy as putting. I don't think
it's not just easy to put it out. Yeah, you gotta have every single person that participated in that record, in the original record. It could be a goddamn person who coughed on that motherfucker and got 1 point. It got 1 point out of 100% of the song, but they have to clear their 1%, right? So that's how it works.
And then if it has a sample, you got to go find those people too.
You got to go find those people again. Right. So legally, it's not as easy as just, and I get that from the fans, who probably don't know no better. Yo, upload this, and why you didn't upload this? Why the song only had 12? Why the tape only had 12 songs? And the original had that. I understand that they don't understand the legalities of it, but that's what it is. The original song, whatever beat he rapped over, if however many people contribute to that song, that many people got to go back, find, and then check off and give them permission. And then hope that they don't ask for too much money outside the budget and try to, see if the legal part of it works. So it's not as easy as just putting it up and having a song or the tape in its entirety, right? So absolutely. So that's the process.
So we will be seeing more Wayne classic records, mixtapes coming out eventually if the business is right.
The business is right, bro. I think that's gonna be for a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? I think that's about to be the trend for a lot of these artists out here. Because it's extra revenue for the artists. Hopefully, these people who who beats that these artists rapped on, understand this extra revenue for them. You know, free money, man. That's how I put it. Like, yo, this is just free money. Like,
Right.
you know, like, why making it so difficult? It's all just, you know,
It's
free
out there.
money.
It's out there anyway for
It's
free.
out there
You're not
anyway.
making any money on it.
Right. It's out, right. Just take some more extra free money. Like that's like the, you know.
You can go to
Absolutely.
any mixtape website and still find this stuff. It's on YouTube. Like, let's put it out and monetize it. This is, you know, this is the future. You didn't get paid on it back then, but now you can. Like, let's
That's the conversation, bro. And some people get it. Some people want to be greedy, and I want some more money for it now. And you know, like it's not nothing that you know we care to spend hundreds of $1,000 budget on. You know, but you know, hopefully everything can come out and everybody gets on that court and understand that it could be a win-win for all parties.
Right. So, you know, that's great news, man. You know, this is the future of the business. So, you know, hopefully we can continue to get more of that. And there's more Wayne on the way. There's a lot more other stuff I'm sure coming. But, you know, before we wrap up, I got to ask you, which Carter is your favorite? Can you divulge that information?
Yeah, I think it has to be Carter 3, only because that was like the like that was my baby, man. Like he gave me like shit. He might have gave me like 50 songs, and he let me pick every single song on the album outside of Lollipop, because he had Lollipop and knew what Lollipop was, and I didn't even. He tell his story all the time. I didn't fucking believe in Lollipop in the beginning.
So you were not a fan. You were like,
I was not a fan, dog. I was not a fan of Lollipop in the beginning, but you know, it did what it did. So you know, so I really sat there. I can remember the nights going through the songs, you know, taking shit off and being hard to take stuff off, and narrowing it down to the album that you heard, that sequencing, putting it all together. Like you know, I can remember those nights, and you know, and that one hold dear to my heart because I knew the pressure was on to, you know, to hold up to everything that we had built up. And it was a rewarding feeling to know that, you know, everything that was picked and everybody received the album so well. So,
because you got Universal breathing down your neck. You got Baby and Slim probably like, where's the music? Turn it in. Everybody's, you know, because there's a gap there. There's a gap between, you know, Carter 2 and Carter 3. It's a couple years there.
Yep. So that definitely was my favorite because of outside of all the other reasons. Then it's probably Carter 1, man. I love Carter 1's music on there. So much good shit on that album that I wish we could have put out and highlight, but we went into a rough patch between Carter 1 and Carter 2. You know, right after Go DJ, it was downhill for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out his situation, legal situation.
And that's crazy because that's his biggest, that like became his biggest song at the time.
Yep. And we had plans. Then we shot Earthquake, that song with Jazzy. Well, I don't know what it's called now. We had to change that we had to change that name a couple times because of legalities. That I'm still way more fly than you. It was called one thing. I think it's called Earthquake now. I think we had to take it off. I don't think it's even out now. I think we had to end up taking it off. There was a big dispute over that song too. Mm-hmm. I'll take your dime from you. I think we shot that one too, but we didn't work it because by the time we got to working that record, being able to work that record, it was in turmoil behind the scenes, you know. And I thought there was a lot of other records that could have jumped off of that album, but
for sure,
but behind the scenes, everything was ugly at that point, you know. And we ended up getting it right before Carter 2 came out.
Mm-hmm. That's good. You know, congrats on all the success with everything. I appreciate you taking the time to just, you know, explain this time. Because, like, a lot of times people will ask the artists these things, and they don't remember any of that stuff.
Well, none of it.
They're moving way different. Their brains work differently than ours do. So, you know, that's why I'm appreciative that you take the time, because the fans want to know this stuff that goes into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, it was love, man. This is great. I love telling these type of things, man.
And
Definitely with fun days.
this is education, man. Like these stories have to be told for future generations, and that's also why I think it's so important that, you know, these mixtapes and leaked records get on the DSPs so the future generations can enjoy them.
Absolutely, I agree 100% with you, bro. Absolutely.
All right, so much love, man. Thank you for the interview today.
Appreciate you for having me, dog. Had a good time, man.
No doubt.
All right, dog.
Peace.
Yep.